Okay. All righty. Notice is hereby given that the regular board meeting at the Lower Valley Water District will be held on Thursday, January 28, 2021. It is 6:30 p.m. There being four members. No, we're five members present. I will declare a quorum. We'll take a moment to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, we don't have that on there. Why?
Yeah, we do.
I don't have it.
Let's go ahead and say it.
Yep, I guess I still can, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll recite the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And of course, our silent prayer is we extend our condolences to all those that have lost a loved one. Our dear Dolores, who lost her brother-in-law, he rest in peace, and all those employees of Lower Valley, our prayers are extended to each and every one of them that they have a speedy recovery and that everybody tries to stay as safe as possible. So we'll move on to the consent agenda. Sorry. Oh, no, open forum. Cindy, did anyone sign up for open forum? Hello?
Not sure if Cindy's on yet.
Hello.
I can check if anybody emailed. Give me 1 second. No, I don't.
Would you be so kind as to check and see if anybody?
Nobody signed up.
Okay.
Were you guys able to hear me? I said nobody signed up.
No one signed up? Okay, thank you, Ryan. We'll move on to the consent agenda, items 5 through 11. Does anyone have any questions regarding the consent agenda?
No questions for me. This is Rod.
No questions.
No question for me.
No question.
With that in mind, I so move to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Trujillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the regular agenda. Item 12, General Manager's Report. Is that going to be you, Mr. Long, or is it Mr.?
Yes. No, he tasked me to do this. Good afternoon, board members. It's a lot of information. I think Cindy is going to send you all this presentation. So if you all have any questions later on in the week, you're more than free to call me. I'm going to kind of do a cursory review of this. Let me share my.
Well, you do know you're going to be evaluated based on this presentation, right?
Uh-oh.
All right. Okay. Can you all see the?
Yes, I
Yes.
can.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and start here. So these are the projects that were some of the ones that we're working on the month of December and January that I'm going to go into a little bit of detail. This is from the engineering department. The FC Jackson is a self-help project. It's a 400 linear feet of 8-inch sewer line. We've actually already delivered most of the material to the site. We already contracted a surveyor to go back and do some construction staking. And you will see this probably beginning in February. It should take them a month and a half to finish this project up. Vista Bonita, you're going to see it later on in the agenda, where Danny's going to be asking for final dedication of this subdivision. This is 200 new lots. Mesa del Norte, we're already on phase 2. There's already should see some activity out there. They're getting ready to do the bore underneath North Loop with the water and sewer from Mesa del Norte to the Lions Club property. This is a manhole that we did some repair on Campo Vello. We actually did a fiberglass insert on this manhole, but it's still developing a sinkhole around it. So we brought the contractor back out there. They're excavating the site. They think there might be a water service line that got hit, or maybe it's the sewer lines that have a hole and it's creating the sinkhole.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have found a lot of sludge inside the lines here. This one's downstream from the lift station where we're accepting the septic sludge. So this might be some of the side effects, but we're going to do our investigation on this one. The other one that we're repairing is on Las Tulas. This is being done by Cubic Waters. We're actually replacing this manhole completely. So this one will require some dewatering operations, and they will redo the manhole from the bottom up. We're also doing a rehab of lift station number 9. This was assigned to CMD Endeavors. This work has already started, and it's going to go on for about 45 days. They're going to sandblast the wet well, recoat it, redo some of the piping, send the pumps to get rehabbed. They have their hands full. The Cuadrilla package plant, if all goes well, tomorrow we hit the switch and Lower Valley will now start treating sewage.
Oh, wow.
So I wish we could have been out there and done a ribbon cutting ceremony. Hopefully we can do it in a couple of months once this pandemic is over. But this one, we've waited a long time for this one to come online.
4 years.
Yes.
Híjole.
Even before I started with the district. Our inspectors, this is kind of a rundown. This is what they did in the month of December, meter installations, locates. It kind of summarizes what they did for the whole month. Our human resource, we've hired 2 people in the month of December. We had 2 transfers. The table up on top is kind of interesting. This is our turnover rate. For 2020, we averaged 1.4%. The month of December kind of threw our numbers off. We had 2 people that retired. We actually had 2 people that we had to terminate, and then 4 that moved on to other jobs. But if you look at the rest of the numbers, they're either zeros or 1. Then Mr. Ontiveros provided me a summary from 18, 19, and 20. We're about the same. This last December was just kind of an oddball. This one is the current openings that we have. 2 pipe layers, 1 diesel mechanic, customer service, service representative, a cashier, 2 solid waste drivers. The table over here is kind of interesting. The last column, it shows how long we've had the position, how long it actually took us to fill these positions. Like this clerk, it took us 2 months, 15 days. Some took three months. This one actually took a year to fill.
Yeah, but a solid waste clerk, 2 months to fill? Wow.
Yeah, it shows you kind of from start to finish. I thought this was a really interesting graph. This one talks about some of the issues that we've had with employees. And again, Ms. Ontiveros, she tracked all of last year, and she kind of color coded it. If it was a policy violation or performance, and you could kind of see, like in the month of December, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 violations, and you can kind of see what they dealt with. This one deals on our safety. Injuries, we did have 2 injuries in November. These are personal injuries. Property damage, nothing in November, nothing in December. On the vehicle accidents, October, November, and December, 0. This is a great record.
Oh,
So hopefully we'll keep the trend.
good.
Field operations, what Ruben did, he provided me new installations and repairs for October, November, December, and January. Although they've been dealing mainly with Judy Lane and Sudan. They're almost finished with this project. We did have them out we almost had all our field operations crew out for 2 weeks. So they got a little behind, but they're going to finish this project and they're going to jump back on the new installations. We actually have a crew going out this weekend to tackle some of the new installations that we're behind on. Customer service. This is what came in the month of December, a little over $2 million. It shows the breakdown, cash, checks, credit cards. Um, and then this is kind of interesting here. This is the amount of accounts that we currently have for the month of December. Water is 19,000, wastewater 16, solid waste 18,000. This graph, although it says walk-ins, it's our drive-through. So we've had people coming in and paying, coming in to do turnoffs or cutoffs. It kind of gives you the breakdown of the people that come through the drive-through. These are some of the other tasks that our customer service are dealing with. Project Bravo is one of them. We're doing contracts and applications for people that are not able to pay their bills. We are doing cutoff notices, but we're not cutting anybody off yet. The meter readers, the number that I thought was kind of interesting for the month of December, we went and checked, physically checked almost close to 8,000 accounts that either had highs or lows. This other table here basically shows we read 18,887 meters. 16,000 we were not able to pick up. So we actually physically had to go and open up the meter box. So it's putting us at a 67% that we're actually picking up on the vehicles. Once we do the meter replacement program, I see this number probably being in the low to mid 90s. We should be able to pick up almost everything. New installations. So these are the subdivisions. These are the home builders that are coming in and asking for meters in the month of December. We had a total of 78 new connections. It totaled to 157,000. And these are some of the other things that the people in new installations also deal with. You have our water rights technicians, cleaning ditches, picking up weeds, our loans and water rights, the reassignment of water rights, outstanding water rights, tampering. This kind of gives you the breakdown of the person that's dealing with our tampering, our land administrator as well. Now, our Department of Information and Technical Support. They had a total of 38 tickets with Tyler Muniz. 14 are still open, 22 they were able to close. We had 135 help desk tickets. And this is where they either go to someone's computer, fix a problem, or they do it remotely. But that was for the month of December. On the developer side, they're doing a new application for our FOG. On the GIS, this is real important, the one that we're doing with UTEP. We're working with UTEP and Esri. UTEP is doing a lot of modifications to our GIS map, but we want a seamless transition. Whatever they do on their side, we want it to be able to update on our map. And I've sat in on a couple of those meetings. UTEP actually even had to change some of their software so it's compatible with ours. This one was very interesting. So we have, these are threats that come into our system. It's a global map. Everything that's shown in red, Ryan is actually blocked off because we've gotten threats from these countries. If you can see here on January 22nd, we got a total of 41 threats that we were able to stop. And most of them were coming, it seems like, from California into our district. And then he kind of puts down here, explains the type of threats that they are. This is web use on our website. As expected, Monday through Friday, very high use. It kind of tapers down a little bit on Saturday and Sunday. These are the sites that they look at on our website: customer service, purchasing, HR, our board meetings, and solid waste. This is email usage here in the district. So Outlook, if you look at the table at the bottom, this is the one that has the most activity. The graph on the top shows kind of Monday through Friday. These little dips are the weekends, which is to be expected. And then software that our users are using are Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, Teams, Word, emails, sent, received, read. Then we got another software through Teams which is an internal chat. A lot of chatting going on within the district. Threat protection, again, it's kind of color coded. Our software is preventing these threats to do damage to our system. On our GIS, the graph on the top basically shows how many times people log into our system on the daily. You track from December 27th to January 28th. This one was kind of interesting. This is kind of their report card. On patch compliance, we're at 98. On antivirus, if you look at the graph, we're up in the 90s. On this one here, performance, and this is our system, our servers, our computers, our desktops, 87%. Stability, I asked Ryan, so why does this one kind of dip? He said we have older software on some of our machines because some of our vendors that we work with are using some of this older software. So that kind of brings our numbers down. It doesn't mean that we're in bad shape. It's just I think we got a couple of machines that have older software.
62% compared to the antidepressant alone.
Okay, rail enforcement, they're still dealing with issues with the wipies. They're having to pull the pumps at the lift stations and clean the impellers. We have Frank Spencer doing evaluation of all of our lift stations, and this is some of the equipment that they're using. This one here is showing, this was a line clog on Camino de la Rosa, and you can kind of see what they're kind of pulling out of the manhole. We did have a spill that we had to report to TCQ. This was on Rio Negro. And then Mr. Mireles kind of gave me kind of a breakdown, his compliance officers, some of the duties they do, from sewer clogs to flushing hydrants, cross connection, the notices that they give out, test reports, so the backflows that were sold, water sampling. We took 62 samples in the month of December. This is throughout the district. Those we have to take to El Paso Water to get analyzed. Some of the reports that we have to do. The SCADA tech kind of helping with the lift stations, pumping down the lift stations, keeping a log of of the lift stations themselves. The fire hydrant techs, dealing with dead end lines where we have to flush them, helping out with the sewer clogs, cleaning up some of our sites where our tanks are at. Actually, even also helped out install 2 pumps at one of the lift stations. Mechanic shop, this is kind of the total of the work orders that they did for the month of December. And they broke it down into heavy, medium, and light duty trucks. This goes into more detail, actually some of the stuff that they did to the vehicles. These are the vehicles that we had to do outsource. And Mr. Vilca was very specific on what exactly got done by some of these companies that we provided this, that we asked for this outsourced work. Our solid waste department, Mr. Reganis gave me October, November, December. This is the commercial containers. They keep going up, which is very nice. He's doing a great job over there. Landfill. This is how much we pay at the landfill. The month of October was 90,000. November kind of went down a little bit, 85,000. December went back up. Definitely took a lot more waste. And I could see it because of the holidays. This is the amount of fuel that our solid waste uses. 68,000 in diesel, 69,000 in diesel, 17,000 unleaded. This is just for the month of December. And then he provided a table that has all of his units and then efficiency and fuel use and distance. There's like I said, it has a lot of information. These were the work orders on the residential side on the solid waste. And these were the work orders on the commercial. Customers, steadily increasing from 17,900 to now to 18,000 in the month of December. I imagine it'll go up in the month of January as well. This is the vehicle, this is the Volkswagen Grant program. This is one of the vehicles that we had to dispose of. As you can see here, they had actually cut a hole in the engine itself, and they had to cut the chassis. And here's a vehicle that replaced it. It's a beautiful, brand new, solid waste side loader. And if y'all have any questions, like I said, it's a lot of information. Take a look at the presentation. Cindy should have sent you a hard copy. You can feel free to call me.
What would happen a lot of the times is you get so riveted by other people in the scene that I would forget things.
You're still on mute, Mrs. Vigil.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Mrs. Vahid.
Yeah.
Hey, Ed, you
Yes.
said we got one brand new vehicle through the Volkswagen program. How many more are scheduled to be done this year?
6.
And 6 more this year,
I
or
believe so.
6 total?
I think it might be 6 total. It's a number
Okay.
that I'd have to verify with Mr. Flores, but 6 for some reason just sticks in my head.
Okay.
But I can give you a breakdown. Let me look into that, and I'll tell you exactly the number.
Thank you.
Okay, if no one has any further questions, I guess we'll move on with the agenda. I'm sorry, I was having issues. Item 13, discussion and possible action to approve change order number 1 for Mesa del Norte subdivision sanitary sewer improvement phase 2. Daniel.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we resumed construction operations for Mesa del Norte wastewater project. Last time we were stopped due to irrigation season. So we have to demobilize our contractor. Now we're bringing them back, which is going to be an extra cost. We're remobilizing to the site. That cost is going to be $25,422. Also, now there's a permanent structure on the easement that we had. There is a trailer now in there, so we have to do boring operations now, all the way from North Loop all the way to Mesa Rocks, which is the first street on behind the lot. That's gonna drive the cost up as well, which is gonna be $43,450. And we're also adding 120 calendar days to the contract, due from the time that we were stopped until April, which is the anticipated completion date for this project. So in total, it's gonna be $68,872 with 22 cents, and adding 120 days to the project. We discussed this change order number 1 with the engineering committee, and we would like to recommend the approval of the change order. And right now we're doing boring operations already. EPC WID number 1 is letting us proceed with this project and also take that. So we're doing boring operations, and we have discussed this change order as I mentioned. So if there's any questions.
It's a total of what? 68,000 what?
872.
872.
With 22 cents.
Okay.
With remobilizing and the steel casing.
Right. Okay.
Ms. Vahil,
Yes,
I have a question. So we're saying that this is already going on right now, right?
Yeah. Right now we're boring already across North Loop. It started already.
Well, so why are we bringing it to us now? If you're not, you're just proceeding with it without even getting approval. And how many change orders is this on this project?
Well,
This is-
this will be change order number 1 for phase 2 of the project. Well, we discussed with the engineering committee about proceeding on the change order. And it was because, well, the irrigation season is going to start already on February. Also, the contractor scheduled their boring company for this week. So if we didn't proceed, we might have stop again for the irrigation season, since it's going to start pretty soon. So we discussed this item already with them, so that's why we proceeded.
But I think what Mr. Carrasco is saying is, here we have a project that evidently we've approved. And then we go into the project and now we're having to do a change order of 60-some thousand, and now it's coming to the board. And it just seems like almost every project we start, and we had discussed this last year, and saying, you know, we need to be careful because every time we turn around, there's gonna be this, there's gonna be that, and, you know, and I guess I think that's what he's trying to say, right, David?
Yeah. You know, we need to be a little bit more efficient as how we're doing this. We got to call a special board meeting, but I don't think anybody other than the board is accountable to the taxpayers, to all the people that are part of this district. And so we don't just need to just proceed with it and move on with it and think it's going to be done. Whether engineering committee, call a special board meeting. Let's get this thing discussed and let's get it approved. But we just can't be. How long ago? When did it start? When did we start doing this?
So they started the work this last week. But what the change order deals with is the MOB and DMO. So right now, if there were invoices, that would not come out in any invoice. This is what you all are approving.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Mr. Long, when we originally approved the project, because this project was approved quite a while back.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so when this project was approved, it was approved at a certain amount, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and so the board approved that amount and the engineering committee had a meeting and agreed on it, and I understand. And so now you all met with the engineering committee again, because now there's some additional costs. And I guess what the board is saying, we all need as a group, maybe you all and us, to understand that, you know, we need to hold certain people accountable. We agree on a certain price, and then it's not fair to the taxpayer that here we're coming back because, oops, the contractor made a mistake, and now we're gonna be stuck with 60-some thousand.
So this is one where you're correct. You all had approved a dollar amount and a specific task. We had to get permits from the irrigation district and from Texan. We got the green light from both entities. The contractor had mobilized out there and started doing the work, and the irrigation district basically stopped us. He said that we could not do the work, even though they had approved the project, until irrigation season was completed. So we had to wait. So I wish the irrigation district was a little bit more open about when they approve these projects and giving us a time frame. This is the time that your contractors are allowed to work within our right of way. They did not do that.
But Mr. Long, the first item 1 is to install an additional 110 linear feet. That the second part may be due to the width. That's a whole other different subject, a whole other different discussion. But the 44,000, 43,000 is because it's just additional linear feet of casing and the whole. This has got to be where we hold these contractors, whoever's accountable. And like I said, if we're having this discussion, it's going to be done. Don't give them the go ahead to do it because it's all said and done. We're accountable. And if you have an engineering committee and they're agreed, but let's call a special board meeting, get it approved, then start it. But I guess my question, how long have they just been proceeding with this change order number 1 since when?
Oh, no, they started this week. All they did was they started setting up equipment out there. Yesterday we met with TechStop. Danny met out there with TechStop because pre-construction meeting. So the work will probably, the actual bore will start, was it next week, Danny?
Yeah, they just did the mobilization into the side and the board did.
So they knew that we were bringing the site into the board for approval.
I understand, but what did we decide not to approve it?
You got to tell them to pull up the site.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm telling you? We're taking it for granted it's done, and this is a governmental entity that we need to be understanding that the board is responsible for these approvals. So we just can't say, oh yeah, go ahead and get it done. This is not the private sector where you just get it done and take advantage and move forward with it. It's got to be done where it's approved by the board. So that's what I want to make sure that's it's very clear, because once we start doing these change orders, a lot of these contractors are going to start seeing it, and they're just going to start moving forward. Say another little change order here and a little change order there.
And again, we talked about it last year that we had to be a little more careful because
Right.
the board was getting tired that every time we started a project, then here comes a change order again. And it isn't just, $5,000, $10,000. It's always a certain amount. And so we're saying, you all are looking at this, you're dealing with a contractor, and we need to be a little more careful because there could come a time that the board may say, you know what, this is going to be placed on the back burner. But I understand that. Now, does anyone in the engineering, David and Henry, do you guys have anything to say? I mean, you guys feel comfortable?
Yes, I think Mr. Carrasco is right. We should have called a special board meeting for this issue. What do you think, David? We should have, I think.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'd like to say
The
something.
contractor's not asking for more money because he wants to do a change order. The Water Improvement District stopped us from doing the bore because they were already starting their irrigation, even though they had approved the permit. And then the other part of the additional line was the lot that we were going to buy at Mesa del Norte to do our to go across, got sold. They sold it. So now we're buying another one, which is further down. So we had to change it. It's not the contractor acting on his own, doing change orders and whatever he wants. There's circumstances that are beyond our control that are stopping the work, and then we got to pay to restart the work. It's been going on. The Water Improvement District plays their games.
And so Water Improvement District wasn't involved in this. I mean, we didn't do a study. And I know what you're saying, and that's what I wanted to know, because it makes it seem like the contractor's doing it.
No.
Okay, committee, what's going on here?
We submit plans to the irrigation district for approval. We have to pay their fees. They had already approved the plan. The contractor had set up. They had already done the board pits to put their boring machine in. And that's when they showed up and said, no, you all are not allowed to bore across. You're all gonna have to wait until irrigation season is over.
Oh,
That was
and
never.
I understand that. Trust me, I understand that, and I know we have a lot of experience about that. I guess what I'm saying is the other additional, the majority of it is a 43,450 for increased contract amount for extra time on the day. So okay, that's what. But it's also saying there, install additional 110 linear feet. Was that?
Because the property got sold that we were going to use to go across. So now we have to move down. I think it's 3 more lots down. We have to move. That's more tight.
Okay. But I guess I say, but the key, and like I said, we're gonna prove it. It's already being done. But what I'm saying, I think if we, like Mr. Trujillo just said, if we have to have a special board meeting, especially we have now, we got to get it approved before we give them the notice to proceed, because that could lead to other issues later on. So we got to be very careful that we cross our T's, dot our I's, and make sure we're having the right signatures, the right time, the right dates, so that there's no issues later on. Am I kind of going in the right direction where we understand?
No, definitely.
So guys, can I chime in for just a few seconds?
Sure, Mr. Trujillo.
Okay, here's the deal. We have not exceeded the parameters of the contract. What Mr. Long is he's being transparent with the way we're spending the money. We have not exceeded the amount that you guys have authorized. We still have a ways to go before we exceed that money. That's why we told the contractor to continue on. Now, we may exceed it at the end of the contract, which means they may exceed the life of the expenses of the contract by about $60,000. They may not. Maybe there'll be some savings along the way. What we're telling you is we can expect somewhere along the way we have a shortfall, and we're going to have to ask you for some money, and we'd rather do it sooner rather than later. That's what we're doing now.
Okay.
You didn't have to approve for us to continue because we haven't exhausted the money in that contract yet.
Then Jerry, in all honesty, it shouldn't have came as a change order. It shouldn't have came as a change order.
And that was
Eventually-
gonna be my
eventually,
question to
Mike.
Steve. If we haven't gone over the funds that we approve, then why are we discussing it right now? Is that standard, Steve?
The
Yeah.
commission wants to be
It
transparent.
depends on if it's a change in the scope of the work. It sounds like they had to move the project, so
Yeah, I
technically,
think
yes.
Mr. Estrada said we had to
Yeah.
go down so far further out, I think. And
That's-
evidently, Mr. Carrasco, they met with the engineering committee, and so the engineering committee was aware of what was going on. And I guess they had no issue. And like Mr. Estrada explained it now that he,
I'll call you later. I'm in a meeting. I'll call you.
I got you. But I guess my only Ms. Beal, if I may, just if it is a change order, I mean, I would say board policy or board procedures would be wanting us to actually approve it, officially approve it, before we give a contractor, I guess, a notice to do things, proceed, so that we cover ourselves in our, like projects in the past where we've said something, just, oh yeah, go ahead, start, I'll get the board to approve it. But what if somewhere along the line later we don't approve it or something else happens? That's all I want to make sure. If the way I'm reading it here, if it's a discussion, possible action to approve change order number 1 for this amount, to me, it's like we're trying to get additional money to do it. But if it's already there, then that's a totally different thing. So I'm fine with it. I'm going to vote yes to approve it because we need to get this project taken care of.
Had he not been in extras.
So if there's no other discussion, I'll motion to approve.
Political life, had that not been less than a month before.
been moved.
I'll second it.
Motion.
and
Okay, David.
seconded by Mr. Estrada. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 14, discussion and possible action to approve amendment number 1 for manhole condition assessment project. Daniel?
So we're doing an assessment in our district for all the manholes in our district. We're scanning and this additional work is to uncover the manholes that are either covered by dirt, by asphalt, or concrete. The ones on asphalt, they're just going to uncover them. Concrete or asphalt, they're going to uncover and bring them back up, and then leave them up to the grade and scan them and do the GPS. So for the asphalt, so there's going to be two items that we're bringing to the board for the asphalt. For a total of 150 manholes for a total amount of $237,070.18. And for the second item will be 150 manholes as well, with 75,680, and those will be the ones covered by dirt. Final amount of $312,697.18. We discussed this item with the engineering committee as well. It's just a matter of that we have to bring them back so we can finish our assessment and finish those manholes scanning and doing the GPS coordination.
Nixon didn't like that program.
I would like to recommend for approval of this amendment number 1, of if there is any.
What to be spent.
And I would guess that you all met with the engineering committee on this one as well, correct?
Correct.
Yes, we did.
And
This-
I'm sure the engineering committee is recommending that the board approve this, correct?
Yes.
Correct. We need to get started on those manholes. They're deteriorating bad. The ones with the sand are probably up in the sand hills, and the asphalts are down on the roads that had been covered by when they paved. So this is a project that we need to get started. Mhm. What do you think, David? This fall.
This is a result of lack of maintenance over the past 10 years at least.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have the manpower to do it on our own in-house. So we need to go ahead and get this guy to start doing it.
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve this item? If no
I
one
so
has-
move, Rosie. I so move.
By Mr. Trujillo,
I second it.
seconded by Mr. Estrada. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
You know what I was thinking, Ms. Vigil? Maybe we
Yes.
should hire some people. You know, we're spending so much money, you know, that are qualified to do whatever kind of work. And it might save us some money. 3-4 individuals and put them to work on a project like this. You know, uncovering the manholes, especially the ones on the roads, which are, I think, are easier.
Then
But
I
I'll
would
talk.
suggest that you
Mhm.
meet with an engineering committee. And then I'm sure that if it's outsourcing, and then bring it back to the board.
Okay, I have been talking to Mr. Grijalva on that because we're spending a lot of money. I think we can hire 3, 4, 5 individuals, and we would save some money. I don't know, but we're looking at it. We're looking at it.
Let's
Okay.
look at it, and then, of course, I'm sure everybody finance will look and see what the cost, and we'll move forward, okay? Thank you. We'll move on. Item 15, discussion and possible action to approve closing documents and dedication of water and wastewater facilities for Vista Bonita subdivision. Daniel?
Yes, so this subdivision is located right there on North Loop and State Road, on Trent Road, right there beside on the train tracks. So we attended a final walkthrough in December with the contractor and the developer. We check all the manholes, we check hydrants, we check all water and sewer infrastructure for this subdivision. So we have done the final walkthrough on this project. Everything looks good. Also, we have received the record drawings for the subdivision along with the water rights. So we have everything to bring to bring it to the board for final dedication. It will bring 200 new water and sewer services to the district. So it will be 200 additional accounts. And we have discussed with the engineering committee as well, and we're recommending to approve the final dedication of this subdivision to the district.
Does anyone have any questions regarding this item? Because from what I understand, it is the recommendation of the engineering committee to move forward on this.
Yes.
Correct. No questions for me.
So do I hear a motion from anyone in the engineering committee?
I'll move.
Moved by Mr. Trujillo,
I'll second the motion.
seconded by Mr. Chavez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, discussion and possible action to offer an employee assistance program through Integrity Employee Assistance Inc. DBA Well Connect as a new benefit to Lower Valley Water District employees. Sabrina?
Good evening. This was an item that we brought to the board in December 2020. The item was tabled so that we could have an opportunity to review it with the HR committee, which we did so this month, earlier in January. This is the employee assistance program that helps employees who are dealing with work-related or personal problems. They offer 6 sessions per incident at a cost of $3.17 per employee, which would come out to less than $5,000 per year. We see this as a win for the Lower Valley Water District because if we're able to help employees deal with some of the stresses that they have outside the work or within the work, it helps them with their morale as well as help them become more focused employees and more productive employees at work. So we're asking the board to approve the employee assistance program at $317 per employee per month with Well Connect as the provider.
Yes, it's true. The engineering committee, I'm sorry. I really
HR.
The Human Resource Committee, which is Mr. Carrasco and myself, met regarding this. If you all do recall, like Sabrina stated, we tabled the item because we wanted some additional information. It seems like Sabrina was able to inform Mr. Carrasco, myself, that there is a big benefit. And so for the district, not only for the employee, but the district as well. And especially during this period of time that there's so much stress and people that have lost their loved ones, it's been very stressful, I think, for everyone involved. So I guess based on that, if no one has any questions on it, as a member of the HR committee, I so move that we approve this item.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Carrasco. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
What I am going to ask, please, is that if we're not speaking, please put your pad or your desktop, whatever it is, on mute, because I think it's picking up that someone is listening to either the radio or TV, and it's
Okay.
distracting. So Henry, pon tu novela on off.
Okay, I
And,
record it. I'll
and
record it.
record it and stop paying attention to it because it is, okay?
I'm sorry, Ms.
Thank
Vigila.
All righty, so I guess I did, I think I went through the whole process, right? All those in favor say aye and everything was okay. Okay, item 17, consider and take action to award request for statement of qualifications for on-call land survey services RFQ number 20-1221-02. Hi, Rosa. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, board members, Mr. Blanco, staff. The administration published the request for statement of qualifications for on-call land survey services Monday, November 23rd and Monday, November 30th in the El Paso Times. The statement of qualifications were received and opened Tuesday, January 12th at 4 p.m. local time. The district did receive statements of qualifications from Conde Incorporated, FXSA Consultant, Braque Bustillos, Hewlett Solar, and GRV Integrated, Coven Finley, and Associates. The submittals were evaluated by a 4-member committee of Lower Valley Water District staff, of the following Lower Valley Water District staff: Mr. Grijalva, Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Long, and Daniel Hernandez, project engineer. The evaluation process is based on a point system, rating each firm based on content of the RFQ in the following categories: the consultant's firm and team technical expertise, the staff qualification, experience, and background of key personnel on similar projects, the past relations performance with the Lower Valley Water District, references on related project, compliance with the RFQ instructions, and their schedule of availability. The scoring is conducted independently by each member of the committee. The purchasing tallies the scores within each category, and then are added up to get total points per firm. And then based on the total points, the best qualified is identified. We did provide this summary of results within the points assigned to the firms, and they are listed from high ranking to low. And the administration is asking the board to consider awarding the request for qualifications for on-call land surveying services, RFQ number 20-1221-02, to the top 3 ranking firms, which is FXSA, Braque Bustillos, and Hewlett Zollers. We're more than happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
No, ma'am. No questions
No.
for me.
Okay. So if no one has any questions, do I hear a motion to approve this?
I so move, Rosie.
It's been moved by Mr. Trujillo. All those, do I hear a
I'll second the motion.
And seconded by Mr. Chavez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is item 18, Consider and take action to award request for statement of qualifications for on-call geotechnical services, RFQ number 20-1221-03. Rosa?
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Let me find the stuff here. Sorry, hold 1 second. Okay. All right, again, the administration published request for qualifications for on-call geotechnical services Monday, November 23rd and Monday, November 30th in the El Paso Times. The statement of qualifications were received and opened Tuesday, January 5th. The district received statement of qualifications from the following firms: Terracon Consultants, LEC Engineering Incorporated, doing business as LOI, CQC, Testing and Engineering, and PSI, Professional Service Industries. Submittals were evaluated by a 4-member committee, inclusive of Mr. Grijalva, General Manager, Mr. Jose Hernandez, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ed Long, the Chief Operation Technical Officer, and Mr. Daniel Hernandez, Project Engineer. The evaluation process, again, is based on a poise system, ranking the firms based on those categories, which is the consultant firm and team technical expertise, staff qualifications, experience, and background of key personnel or similar projects, past relations with Lower Valley Water District, reference on related projects, compliance with RFQ instructions, and schedule of availability. The administration is recommending the board consider an award request for qualifications on-call geotechnical services RFQ number 20-1221-03 to top 2 ranking engineering firms, which is CQC and Terracon.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Chavez?
No, ma'am. This was presented during the Finance Committee and yesterday, and they answered all of our questions. So I don't have any questions. I can
That's
make
correct.
a motion. I'm sorry.
So if no one has any questions, I so move to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Mr. Chavez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 19, executive session. The Board of Directors will retire in executive session pursuant to sections 551.071 through 551.076 Texas Government Code to discuss any of the following. 551.071, discussion regarding pending personnel matters, discussion regarding real estate for Mesa del Norte package plant. It is 7:23, and I guess we will exit out and log into the executive session. Thank you.
Okay. No. Haru. Exit out. Leave. Leave.
Mr. Trujillo,
Yes, sir. I just getting
were
ready.
you able to join the executive session?
Yeah, I'm on, but I can't.
No, this is the, you're gonna have to leave this meeting and then join the executive session.
Well, I'm on an executive. I left. No, no.
No.
Okay, let me leave then. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be back.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
there at the left corner, on the left side. Leave.
Yeah, just tap on the screen and then top left corner, hit leave.
Leave. I left. I guess. Leaving meeting, it says.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Might have to click OK.
Ahí está. Ahora. What else?
I'm still seeing you in the meeting. In
Really?
the,
In the regular?
you're still here in the regular meeting, yes, sir.
Let me leave. I left. Leaving meeting, it says. Okay. Correct. Okay, I'm on leaving meeting. What do I do next? Right. Hold on, right. Hold on. Okay. I'm leaving meeting now. I'm here. Okay.
Okay, show me on the phone.
You got. You see it? See it?
Kind of. Click on that red button that says leave.
Yes. At the leaving meeting or what?
You don't
Guess we're waiting for Ron. No, yeah. Ron and Henry. I can't hear anyone. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah,
You
I can
guys-
hear you.
Oh
Yeah.
my, you listened. You put it on mute, right?
Yeah, everybody turned their mics off.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm gonna send that text to everybody. Not really. Okay, Rod's on there. I guess
On.
everyone's on. Henry, David, okay. The board's back in session. There was no action taken in executive session. Item 20, discussion and possible action regarding real estate for Mesa del Norte package plant. I so move to allow the administration to move forward in the real estate item as discussed in closed session.
I'll second the motion. This is Rod Chavez.
And seconded by Mr. Chavez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 21, I so move to adjourn.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Trujillo. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's 8:06 p.m. And again, everybody stay safe. Mr. Grijalva, I guess I'll get with you once I talk to Mr. Carrasco so we can schedule that the meeting regarding HR. Okay? And then our special board meeting for next week. Thank you. Good night. You
Thank
guys
you. Be safe.
be careful. And don't forget to keep everybody happy and share.